Hey guys, Moto Ready here. Welcome to my channel. So the next topic I want to talk about is Android Auto. So it's one of the most favorite features of mine. Of course, there are a lot of features I really like, but I really like the Android Auto because I use it all the time, and it works almost flawlessly. It was not always flawless. There's a little bit of backstory that I need to share with you guys. But first, the way you connect to Android Auto is you need to pair your Bluetooth comm system with the motorbike, and that is a one-time setting that you need to do. That is a prerequisite for Android Auto to function. So you do that. You may have a Senna or you may have a Cardo. I have helmets which have both, and it's very easy to basically set it up. So you go to the home setting, and then you go to, I believe, vehicle setting, and no, maybe phone setting, I guess. Yeah, it's one of these settings where you go and yeah, right here. So you connect your Bluetooth setting, and you can just follow the instructions, and you'll be able to get it paired. You can also, and I think the Goldwing will automatically force the bike to connect with your phone via Bluetooth too. So before using Android Auto, I'd highly recommend you guys turn on the Bluetooth of your phone. You don't have to explicitly pair your phone with the bike. I don't think that's required. But just turn on Bluetooth, and whenever you plug the Android Auto cable to your phone, it would automatically turn on Bluetooth if you don't anyway. But what I've noticed is, for the Android Auto to consistently work, I turn on the Bluetooth on my phone first and not have the Goldwing automatically turn it on. And it uses the Bluetooth in the phone for some of the basic functions, like, as you see in the dash, it basically tells you what is the battery life in your phone, what is the strength of your connection, and so on. And that basically works through Bluetooth. It doesn't use the actual physical cable that's required for Android Auto. So when it comes to Android Auto and turning it on, what you really need to do is, there's a USB slot that comes in the storage cubby here, and you use a USB to USB Type C, I believe, yeah, to connect to your phone. And if you have already paired your comm system with the bike, if you already paired your comm system with the bike, it will kind of show you here in the dash. So if you kind of see two arrows right next to the Bluetooth symbol, the first arrow says it's the phone that's paired to the bike, and then the second arrow right below it says that the comm system is also connected to the bike. So once you have this show up in your dash here, then you can go ahead and connect the cable to your phone. So what I do is I basically have my phone in the phone cradle here, and then I just connect my phone, and you'll in a second I'll show you that also. You'll have an option here which says Android Auto, and then you can go to the Android Auto interface, and you'll have all your apps and so on for you to turn on, and things like that. Okay, so I did at the very beginning mention that Android Auto works flawlessly, but it was not always flawless, and I need to kind of give you guys a backstory because I think this is important. So like a kid that gets a new toy, I was kind of really excited to wanting to try the Anker Auto, and so there was an old cable lying around my house, and I said, okay, let's give it a shot. And as soon as I connected the old cable, I would get it would say a communication error, unplug and replug after a few seconds. So I would unplug and replug, and I would get the same message in about a second. So somewhat disappointed. I was wondering, what's really wrong here? What's the issue? It's basically a cable, right? What could be the issue here? And so I did a little bit of research and found out that it's important for me to use a high speed or a cable that supports high speed data transfer. So I ran to my nearest Walmart and got a cable which clearly said, supports high speed data transfer, and that actually helped. So it helped somewhat. So it worked, Android Auto worked, but then when I was in my ride, about 10-15 minutes into my ride. Sometimes it'll be longer, but then it would automatically crash. It give me that same communication error, unplug and replug after a little while. So I was kind of really disappointed, wondering why am I not getting consistent performance from my Android Auto? Why does I have this connection issue? And I, for a second thought, or yeah, back then I thought maybe it's my phone. The phone that I had was a Samsung Galaxy S8 or S9. It was already 2 or 3 years old, and I thought maybe it's something to do with the phone. And the phone is, I need to kind of upgrade to the latest and greatest. So I actually did that. I kind of upgraded to this phone that I'm using to record my video here. It's a Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus Ultra or something like that. It's kind of the latest and greatest. And I thought, okay, let me give it a shot. And to my dismay, it actually made the situation worse. So it would instantly disconnect, and I would get that same communication error. So very frustrating. So I was really scratching my head, trying to figure out what is going on, what can I do to actually resolve the problem. And after a lot of digging into the internet, I found out that it really boils down to the quality of the cable that you have to use. So most of the cable out there are not good. So I found a cable made by a company called Anker. I'll put a link to the Amazon listing from where I got it from. I'm not trying to sell you that cable. It's not an affiliate link or anything, but I'm just sharing what I used, and that was the solution to my problem. So I've been using that cable for almost 9 months or so, maybe longer, and I've gotten consistent performance. Never ever once has Android Auto crashed on me. So it's important for me to point that out. There is another thing that you can do if you still get an issue. You can kind of reduce the animation rate of your phone by going into the settings, and I'll kind of display or jot down the steps in the description of this video if you want to try that out. But that's optional. I don't think that's really required, but you can do that. And when you reduce the animation rate in your phone actually appears faster, and that is supposed to increase the strength of the connection from your phone to the Android Auto system in the Goldwing. So that's optional. I don't think that will really be required, but if for some reason you still have issues, you can definitely try that out, and I'll post the details in the description below. So yeah, without further ado, let me actually connect my phone and show you guys the Android Auto. Let me pause here for a second. Alright, so what happens is, as soon as you connect your phone to the Goldwing for Android Auto, it will default to the app that you had previously opened. So what you can do is, if you want to go to the home page, you can as I mentioned, you'll have the Android Auto option now enabled, and once you click on it, again it goes back to the map here. So what you can do is, I kind of press the back button here in the handlebar control, or I think you can also press the back button in the central panel here, and as you see, it takes you to the home page of the Android Auto, right? So here you can kind of navigate between the different apps. Of course, I use Google Maps almost all the time. I use Pandora for my music. I don't use Audible because I like to just listen to music. I don't like to listen to books, right? It requires a lot more concentration, which I don't want to do while I'm actually writing. And then you have, and this is another app that I've been using lately called OSM A&D Plus. So this is my app for turn-by-turn directions. So I can draw my own map using my maps in Google, and then I can download that map into a KML file, and then I can convert a KML into a GPX file, and then I can load the GPX file into this app. And from then I then kind of, let me actually click it and show it to you guys. So this is the interface for the OSM A&D Plus app, and this gives me turn-by-turn directions. So it's not a perfect app. It is not a Garmin. It definitely has its quirks, but it works very well for me, and I've been using this for years through the phone, and now they've actually released a version that supports Android Auto. So I'm really elated, and I've tried it for a couple of times and it really works. But again, I'll kind of make a separate video about it. I mean, if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. I can create a video to show how to draw your own map using the My Map feature in Google, and then how to convert into a KML and then to a GPX file, and then how to load it into this app and so on. So if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments and I'll make a separate video, a step-by-step video kind of articulating all of that. But then yeah, going back, so yeah, these are pretty much the three apps I really use. I use the Google Maps for, you know, whenever I have to go from point A to point B, I always have my Google Maps turned on. Even though if I know the direction, I have my Google Maps turned on, because in case if there's an accident or if there's a cop on my way, right, Google Maps will reroute and let me know in advance, so that way I can be more prepared and things of that nature. And Pandora is the app for music. Yeah, that's the app I use for listening to music while I'm actually riding. And the beauty here is you can, there's this button which allows you to toggle between the audio in the Goldwing and the audio in your comm system, so you can actually toggle back and forth. So now it's playing from the comm system in my helmet, and when you press the button again, it kind of plays it from the Goldwing speakers. Again, I'll probably talk a little bit more about the controls and so on in a separate video. But yeah, those are pretty much the apps that I use. And one important disclaimer I need to mention is that this can be extremely distracting. So you can use the controls in the left handlebar for you to actually play with. You can shift from one app to the other and so on, and you can do that while you're riding. So while you're riding, the controls in the center console don't work, they get disabled, but you can actually use the control in the left handlebar for you to kind of play with and so on. And it is extremely distracting, my friends. Please do not actually play with the apps while you're riding. I have done that for at least a few months, but I've now kind of made it a very strict policy of mine to not mess with the controls while I'm riding. So even if I for some reason, if I need to change the route, or I need to zoom in or zoom out in Google Maps. So let's say I'm going to the Fuel Max here in Brookshire, let's say, and if I kind of want to zoom in or zoom out, what I can do is I can scroll down, and you have the option here to zoom in or zoom out. So again, I'm kind of playing with the controls here. It's like a joystick. So if you guys are familiar with playing video games, this will be kind of second nature for you. So I can zoom in or zoom out and so on. And sometimes I want to do that kind of to see what route Google is taking me, and if that's the route I want to choose and so on. And you can do all of this while you're riding, and I made it a point to not mess with it while I'm riding, because it can be extremely distracting. It just takes a fraction of a second for you to take your eyes off the road for something bad to happen. And so I've kind of now made it a policy that before I start my ride, I kind of do everything that I need to do, and if there's ever a need for me to kind of play with Android Auto while I'm riding, I pull over and do whatever I need to do, and then I start again. So again, this is something very important I want to really mention, because it can be extremely distracting. So that is really pretty much it, guys. I mean, this is so handy. Again, I'm really grateful for Honda to put Android Auto, compared to other bikes that come with Android Auto, especially in the Honda lineup. I think Goldwing, it really works very well, given it's a touring motorcycle. And yeah, so again, the cable is the key here. So get a good high quality cable, your problems will go away. And yeah, if you want to kind of try to do a little bit more, like adjusting the animation rate of your phone and so on, I'll jot on all the details in the description for you to play with that as well. So yeah, thank you guys. Hope you guys liked it. If you like content like this, kind of like and comment and subscribe, because I mean that's the only way I will get to know that if there is interest. If there is interest, I'll create more videos. If there is no interest, there's no point for me to create videos and so on. And the whole point here is to kind of share my experience so that I can help my fellow riders out there. It's not really all about me becoming YouTube star and making money or anything like that. So again, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.